Howdy, my fright-loving fans, male and female alike. Gloria here, and today we're talking vixens, witches, femme fatales, harlots, and hedonists. When these gals were good, they were very good. But when they were bad, they were even better. Let's begin in the early days of shock cinema. That's a cinema with a capital S. Consider the lovely Kathleen Burke, the young starlet who played opposite Lionel Atwill in 1933's Murders in the Zoo, though the former dental assistant is better known as the slinky panther woman in Island of Lost Souls, released a year earlier. Hot enough to turn even star Charles Laughton away from wife Elsa Lanchester, and maybe even away from Richard Arlen. To younger generations, Gloria Stewart is known as the elderly Kate Winslet in Titanic. But in another era, the lovely Miss Stewart starred in two Fright favorites from Frankenstein director James Whale, The Old Dark House and The Invisible Man. In The Old Dark House, she and hubby Raymond Massey encounter creepiness inside a creaky mansion owned by that kooky and ooky couple, Ernest Thesiger and Eva Moore. During a dark and stormy stay, Stewart unwisely dons a flimsy nightgown and attracts the attention of their brutish and boozing butler, Boris Karloff. Stewart was no less a knockout in The Invisible Man, playing opposite the bandage-enshrouded scientist Claude Rains, who was clearly not wrapped too tight. In the 1940s, Val Lewton produced a series of low-budget, now classic thrillers for RKO Studios. What made these winners different was the presence of inquisitive, powerful, and yes, usually gorgeous women who didn't need men to pull their strings. Consider Simone as Irina in Cat People, a woman who's sensual, seductive, and totally manipulative. Or Frances Dee, wife of actor Joel McCrea in real life, from I Walked with a Zombie. Dee plays the hotsy-totsy nurse in this strange story of a woman whose lore set brother against brother, whose love caused hate, and whose beauty bowed to the will of an evil spell in whose power we must refuse to believe, even if it's true. Flash forward to the 1950s. Beverly Garland, who was later known as Fred MacMurray's second wife in My Three Sons, and the owner of a popular Los Angeles hotel that bore her name, hit the terror track with leading roles as eerie spouses in Roger Corman's Swamp Woman and Not of This Earth. It conquered the world and the alligator people. Miss Garland was a beauty, but also a shrewd businesswoman with talent that landed her on countless TV shows throughout the 60s and 70s. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, lush locations, and buckets of blood weren't the only hallmarks of Hammer Films' House of Horrors. Hot babes with plunging necklines also kept the smashing hits coming throughout the 60s and 70s. The hardy Hammer harem includes Barbara Shelley, who graced the screen in The Gorgon and Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Her status as a great scream queen secure, even though her shriek in the vampire sequel was actually dubbed by another actress. Polish-born Ingrid Pitt, a.k.a. Countess Dracula, also charmed us as the legendary Carmilla in The Vampire Lovers. We've sure got a star crush on Carolyn Monroe, who grooved into scare stardom with Dracula A.T. 1972 and was the slave girl of our dreams in The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. We all heart Hazel Court for her promiscuous performances in the Poe films, The Premature Burial and The Mosque of the Red Death, as well as her teasing turn as Peter Cushing's bride in The Curse of Frankenstein. Who wouldn't want to bond with Martine Beswick, the sinister dark hair of Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde? And then there's Veronica Carlson, for whom Dracula has risen from the grave and Frankenstein must be destroyed. Her appearance in the humorous Horror of Frankenstein makes a terror trifecta for the bodacious blonde bombshell. Well, I see I'm barely into the 1970s, and I haven't gotten to flesh out the fine films of Jamie Lee Curtis and Adrienne Barbeau, or such 80s icons as Linnea Quigley, Brinke Stevens, or Michelle Bauer. And we want to give these and other lovely ladies of the more recent silver screen their full due. So fill up your little black book and pass some time with these shapely starlets of shock until we pitch Weird Woo once more.